and welcome to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another conversation. Hey, guys, when you see me here, it's because we're going to have those conversations that you want to have to get your morning started, and I'm going to ask the questions that you want to get asked. But before we get into all of that this morning, I want to start off by giving you guys the news in 90 seconds. Homage is the theme chosen for the 36th edition of the Tobago Heritage Festival, scheduled for the 21st of July to August the 1st. According to a press release from the Division of Tourism, Culture and Antiquities and Transportation, honoring Tobago's past, celebrating the present, and inspiring the future is the aim of this year's edition. Along with favorite elements such as Mariah Old Time Wedding, Charlottesville's National Treasures Day, and Salaka Feast, the festival will feature the return of the Rum Shop Lime. For the event's execution, a planning team comprising of stakeholders is currently being developed. Additionally, opposition MP Barry Padarat said that the Children's Authority is under-budgeted and under-resourced and not doing enough to protect children. Speaking at a recent press conference, Padarat accused the government of allocating $28 million to the Children's Authority, despite a request for $100 million in the national budget. Worse yet, the opposition MP revealed that in the government's petition to increase the national budget at the mid-year budgetary review, a request for an additional $62 million is being made. He claimed that the request is unnecessary had the government followed through on its plan to allocate $100 million to the Children's Authority. And finally, the government of Trinidad and Tobago was awarded a judgment worth almost $1 billion after the Piaco Airport corruption case in Miami was won. This was announced by the former Attorney General and current Minister for Rural Development and Local Government, Faris Alwari, at a virtual press conference on Monday. He also stated that Trinidad and Tobago has gotten a positive return for all of their money spent on legal fees over the past 20 years. And that was your news in 90 seconds. Guys, so this morning, I have the pleasure of sitting with a young lady who has done Tobago proud and has done great exploits. Every time we see her, she's doing something to either empower her community or empower other young women. And this morning we're speaking with Miss Karyn Forbes, who is a women's national football player. And we are talking about the 8th annual Kick It with Karyn. Good morning, Miss Forbes. How are you doing?
I am fine, thank you. Thank you for having me. Let me just say that one time.
Well, thank you for being here this morning. Now, before we get into Kick It with Karyn, a lot of persons may not know you on a personal level.
Right.
They may see you around. They may see that recently, or not too recently, you would have launched your own book.
Mm-hmm.
You are very active in the community. You are from Plymouth.
That's correct.
Right? And that is a place that you stake claim to.
Of course.
And you continue to be engaged within the community and try to make your presence felt. Tell us a little bit about your background, if you can.
Well, basically, as you mentioned, I grew up in Plymouth. I have 3 other siblings other than myself. And actually, one of them plays football as well. She's currently in Israel playing, Karyn Forbes. I grew up playing football with Stokelyville. And basically, that was like where my career took off. I went to Bethesda Government, then I went to the school on the hill, which is Signal Hill, you know. Most people like to say the school on the hill. And then I went to West Texas A&M, where I applied my trade, which football really was my vehicle to get me where I am today and moving forward. So that's a little bit about me.
Right, and growing up in Plymouth, tell me exactly what did football mean for you?
To be honest, when I started playing at first, I started playing with boys, right? And some of those same boys is who I actually hold close to my heart for today because they are the ones that actually push me. So being a girl growing up in Plymouth, playing football with boys, you always consider being a tomboy, right? But that wasn't really something that kept me down. I kept pushing, and then I eventually get to play with girls when I went to Bethesda Government when we played our first girls competition.
Right, and tell us a little bit about your journey at the school on the hill, at Signal Hill there. I'm guessing that was played a huge role in your rise to stardom in football as well, because we know most athletes that come out of Tobago, they really get that shine or that come up from high school football.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what happened there during your high school football career.
So basically, when I did exams, I passed for Goodwood. So again, football rescued me, where this lady by the name of Miss Simmons, she saw me playing and she was like, you know what, you could add to our team. And that's how I ended up in Signal Hill. I would say for sure, Signal Hill would have allowed me the opportunity to be able to take my football to another level, even being seen by the national team, because my first intercall was against Malik, and most of those girls were on the national team. And that's where Jamal Shabazz was able to see me. And I got to Trinidad like around age of 13, and then I never got off the national team.
Excellent. And tell us, how have you utilized the vehicle of football to inspire other young women and other youths within your community?
So for me personally, I found my why I'm doing it. And obviously, my why may not be somebody else's why, and that is my mother, right? I realized that she wasn't able to afford school, so I had to find a reason to keep me pushing. And that vehicle, which is football, was my way out. And I had to make it through football, right? Or allow football to be the stepping stone for me or to propel me to where I need to go to be able to achieve my academics and also push me to wherever it takes me.
Right, and that has led to a number of different initiatives that you have put on over time.
Yeah.
And well, one of those events is the Kick It with Karyn that you're having, and this is the 8th annual edition. So tell us about how that event came about and why is it so important for you to host events of this nature?
When I was playing with the national team in my 2014 campaign, um, I was sitting on the plane back from Ecuador, and I was like, you know what, I need to do something, that I could be able to give back to my community. And the first year that I did this competition, it was Forbes Soccer Picnic. But as the competition grew, I consulted with a cousin of mine. His name is Shane Sandy. And I was like, I need a more attractive name. He said, why you just don't include your name? And that's how I came up with Kick It with Karyn after 2 years. And now it's keep living on for 8 years.
Okay, excellent. And so tell us how this event has impacted the life of young people in Tobago since it has started.
So, first of all, I was really surprised last year because last year was really big. And to be honest, I was wondering if it's me really keeping the competition because so much people supported it. I realized that there isn't much one-day competition or two-day competition in Tobago. So, and a lot of people and young teams and academies and such, and even villagers are looking forward to this. Like, this is a go-to event, just like I capture the flag, right? So I think it's becoming so huge that it is one of the events that Tobago is going to have for a very long time and grabbing a lot of attention because I was explaining to somebody last night, this event also brings money to businesses. And you're talking about airfare, you're talking about the boat, because I have at least 7 academies coming from Trinidad, accommodation, groceries, a lot of businesses gain from this competition. So to speak, I think it impacts these young children life because they know for sure when they come to Kick It with Karyn, we're getting quality stuff, quality football, quality prizes, and these different things. So I want to continue to maintain that moving forward and even improve and also allow other people to be able to see how attractive the tournament is becoming and hopefully continue to invest.
Excellent. And so let's explain to the audience watching exactly what the competition is about. So it's about different groups, different teams coming together to compete against each other one day. And so it's a number of different age groups that are going to be vying for different trophies, different prizes, different medals. Explain how that is going to go. You say it starts at 11 a.m. So take us through what the event is supposed to be like.
Okay, so basically it really starts at 9 a.m., right? On the first day, which is the 27th of May, we will have the U9 category, U11, U13, and U15. Some of the coaches asked if we could include like girls in these categories, and I said absolutely once they fit the age bracket and reach the requirements, because girls at that level, we now starting to have academies and stuff that bringing out young girls team. But you don't want to deprive them of playing with the boys, because that's how I played. I played my first Republic Cup with the boys. Besides that's we have a full day for kids, and then the 28th of May we have adults. So we have all force competition happening. We have girls under 17. This is the first year I'm keeping girls under 17, but I'm building each year, hopefully to get girls under 15, 17, and women open. We have the men open category that a lot of men participate in, and that's the 2-day competition.
Excellent. And so, guys, you heard it here. It's 2 days. So we have Saturday the 27th and Sunday the 28th, and it's all going to be happening at the Plymouth Recreational Grounds. But, guys, we're going to have more of this conversation as soon as we get back after this break. There's so much more to talk about. Guys, see you soon.
Tobago updates. Good morning, Tobago. Tobago updates.
Good morning and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates, guys. So we have been talking with Miss Karyn Forbes, who is also one of the national football players and one of those Tobago young women who have been doing a lot for her community. She is originally from Plymouth, Tobago, and she's been doing a number of things to try to engage her community. And one of those things, as you were speaking about before the break, is Kick It with Karyn. And this year she's having her 8th edition. And so right before the break, we were talking about all the different categories, and this is open to both boys and girls. And that's on the 27th, that's the youth day. And on Sunday, the 28th, that's the day for the adults. And that's when we're going to see the big sides coming out, right? Tell us a little bit about what's going to be happening on Sunday, because Sunday seems like the real vibes day. Yeah. And tell us about entry requirements. Is there a fee to enter?
There's no fee to enter. Admission is free. On the Sunday before everything starts, we will be having an exhibition game where you'll see me throw down with my team. Everybody's basically going to be from Tobago. I'm taking nobody from Trinidad, everybody from Tobago. So we have like people from Badil, where I sweat, to be a part, because you want everybody to feel welcome, because it's really not about me alone, but it's about helping people to be a part. So we're going to have that game against I-95, which is one of our sponsors. And they are going to bring a team to Tobago, so we'll be able to get more entertainment. Then we have the girls, and then the meal starts later on in the night.
All right, excellent. And how can teams get involved to be a part of the competition?
So you could contact me on Instagram, Karyn Forbes, or you can contact me by 352-7552.
Excellent. And I see there's another number here that is 267-9720. You can call any of those numbers to register. And there is a registration fee attached for the competition itself. Tell us about that.
So the registration fee for the youth category is $400 per team. And also the registration for the U17 girls is $500. For the female open is $800. And then for the male open is $900.
Right. And so this starts off at Kick It with Karyn, which is an initiative that you are putting on for community engagement and to inspire young persons within your community and Tobago on a whole. But tell us about the vision for this tournament. Where do you see it going?
So my succession plan is to be able to feed national teams. I think now I could be able to invite national coaches to come over. Also, I have been abroad in the coaches convention this year, and I would have built connections with coaches, collegiate coaches, professional coaches, and my aim is to bring them in eventually to be able to see talent. And this is why I constantly trying to maintain a certain standard with the tournament, and hopefully to build it into my own league. So we have something that's very solid, something that started from one little one-day competition into a league, and then we will be able to have a well-organized league for Tobago.
Excellent, excellent. Quite impressive, I must say. Quite impressive. I mean, coming out of Plymouth, I know that your community is proud of you, or your family is proud. Tobago is extremely proud, not just for what is happening, but for the vision, because everything starts off as a thought before it is executed. So we could see that big things are coming, right? And tell us about the support that you have been getting for this event.
Definitely the villagers come out and they support me, and I'm very much thankful for that. I'm hoping, to give out some special prizes to, just asking a few questions about the tournament. Because one of the things that I asked on my social media is how long the tournament has been happening and what year did it start. But there's a trick question because COVID was involved, So, little things like that to keep people engaged. I've been getting support. I mean, of course, when you send out like for sponsorship and stuff, not everybody may gravitate to the vision, but I do believe they will come on board eventually.
And who are some of the sponsors that have come on board
so far? Fairways, I must commend them, because as I pitched my information, I was like, hey, I want 5 balls, and could I get a dinner for one of my winners? And they were like, okay, no problem, some of them were really easygoing. We have Answer Motors coming in and actually believing in the vision as well. We have like local sponsors, people like local businesses in Plymouth itself usually do give, even if it's a case or two or whatever, is Sunset Mini Mart. They are one of the local businesses in Plymouth, and everybody is engaged, basically.
Excellent. And I see that you have the Tobago House of Assembly as a sponsor as well. So is it sponsored by the Division of Community Development and Youth Development and Sport?
Yes. So basically, I got the feel from them, right? So I got that confirmation, and I also get trophies and medals from them.
Excellent. Excellent. So with this happening here, do you have any plans of partnerships in the future to do similar events, or even events of a different nature? Do you plan on having maybe a couple partnerships with other athletes from Tobago, maybe not even footballers, but other athletes that have the same desire to come back home, to give back, to engage young people within the community?
Yeah, absolutely. One of the things I want to do in the future is bring out something that athletes build in their brand, because I feel like there's a lot of athletes that not building their brand. They don't understand their value. They need to always carry themselves as a brand, so people could be able to buy into that. So if, let's say, for example, you decide to bring out a clothing line or so, it's easy for me to buy into you because of the way you carry yourself, because people watch every single thing. So yes, absolutely, I'm ready to help anybody that's interested once they are serious.
Right. And outside of just the tournament, what other type of community engagement events have you participated in or hosted? And what's your connection or relationship like with, your area representatives and the village council?
Well, myself and my area rep would have spoken about doing a district league. And, when you're doing those kind of things, you want to be able to give it time. So I'm hoping that next year we will be able to sit down and plan it properly. So in that way, it's not something being rushed. Because when you look at Mariah has a league, Mace has a league, and Plymouth needs to bring back their league, and I think sports is something that keeps down crime. We need to be able to build back the academy, which is Stokelyville. We have produced so many sports people in Plymouth, and I'm not talking only about football, but just different sporting activities, different sporting discipline. And we need to bring that back. We need to be able to have the youth engaged, have them something to look forward to.
Excellent. And so do you take that upon yourself to go into the community and kind of encourage the youths to get involved in some of the sporting activities?
Yeah, like right now, I usually be back and forth. And right now we have like a football sweat we have down on the field. And I realize a lot of youths come around, and they actually, sometimes you don't even know who look up to you until they actually be around you, and then you hear them speak. And by doing that, I realized like a lot of them appreciate that. So I said, listen, I need you guys to relax yourself, come down to the tournament. I'll try to put you guys in. They want to feel a part. Right, and being able to provide these opportunities right on home soil. You're not to catch transportation. You're there. It's happening every year. You're being able to do something that you love, and I think that could be one of the pinnacles or one of the things that helps take Plymouth to another level, or by extension, Tobago.
Excellent. And so, talk to the clubs, encourage them to come out and be a part of this.
Of course.
Let them know that that is happening and why it's important for the clubs to take part.
Of course. James Campbell, in particular, I mean, he's one of the persons that I actually grew up playing football under, and I have seen what football has done for my life, hence the reason why I could say football could, not only football, but any kind of sporting discipline, it could take you places.
Right. And have you been like reaching out to the different clubs individually to let them know about the Kick It with Karyn event that's happening on the 27th and 28th of May?
Yeah, I am in contact with a lot of the clubs in Tobago. I mean, of course, I might be a little bit harsh when it comes to next week, the week of the competition, because I want to be able to create a standard. So if you're not, I'm not doing no registration on the day for kids because it's a bit tedious. I don't want the kids to be standing there in the sun, and you see that sun these days, just waiting around. So I want to do things prior to, so we could get the kids in and get them out, so we get them out at a certain time.
Excellent, excellent. I mean, it's so much, and it goes beyond football.
Yeah.
It goes to understanding that you play a pivotal role in impacting the development of your community and also inspiring other young persons who may not even be into sports, but utilizing whatever talents, abilities, and skills they have to feed into the development of villages like Plymouth and other villages on the island of Tobago. Guys, we're going to take a really quick break, and I will see you back right after this.
The energy fill the sky. Yeah. Hey. Tobago updates.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, we have been chatting with a woman of substance this morning, national women's football player for Trinidad and Tobago, Miss Karyn Forbes. And one of the things that she would have discussed with us earlier is that one of her dreams is to assist other athletes, whether they're from Trinidad and Tobago or not, with building their brand and understanding the importance of that and how that carries over into their career even after athletics, even after sports. And so she is also an author, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about that, something that she doesn't boast too much about, but we know that she has that under her belt. So you are also an author. You wrote a book called Woman of Substance. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the name of the book alone just tells a story. I always wanted to inspire people, especially women. There's no bias there. Of course, I'm a woman, and I see a lot of mistakes that we make and areas that we could improve. And that's one of the things that inspire me to really write this book, which is Woman of Substance. And I take full delight in it because I do believe that it shares my pathway in where I got to where I'm at today. So where I was, where I am, and where I'm going.
Excellent. And so who is the book really targeted towards, and how can people from Tobago support you by buying that book?
So you could support me by either contacting me by 352-7552, or you could contact me via Instagram, or I have a store in Plymouth itself, Jigger Street. You could come there. The book is there. It's 150 TT. Also, I know most people shop online right now. It's on Amazon. It's a bit marked down now, so if you want to get it there, you could get that as well.
Excellent. And you are inspiring other athletes to take a similar approach to their brand and telling their own story.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me why it was important for you to really take control of your own narrative and tell your own story by becoming an author and writing your own book.
I realized nothing is given, and I had to make a better life for myself and for my family. I always kept them in mind with everything that I'm doing, and I always tell myself, even if it's me alone to do it, then I'm going to do it. And my mother has worked really hard to ensure that, I get everything that I need. May not be what I want, but now I am able to say I'm thankful that she would have brought me up in that manner. because those things did stay with me throughout my life. And I'm very elated to share this story because I do believe it could be somebody else's survival guide.
Right. And you talk about being a woman of substance. What, for you, how do you define a woman of substance, and what does it take to be a woman of substance?
Well, I hold myself to certain standard and moral values, and I don't differ from it. You know, my integrity as a person, I build my integrity on honesty, and I always hold myself to that, regardless of the circumstances. And I think today, a lot of women need to understand that at the end of the day, it all boils down to you, the individual, and that could roll over to men too, if you understand what I mean. Because all you have to do is remove WO and you have man of substance. So you have to know exactly what you want. I mean, yes, you know, a lot of people say, oh, I wasn't taught this, I wasn't that. But, you know, as you grow, you have a choice, because there's a lot of things that I wasn't taught. My mother is a single parent. There's a lot of things that I wasn't being able to expose to, meaning like a father figure or so. And I still was able to still hold my own and get out. So it all depends on you and what you want in life and how far you want to go.
Excellent. And so would the book be available on the 27th and the 28th? I Kick It with Karyn.
Absolutely.
Right. But you were telling me also before the break that persons can come to Kick It with Karyn and they can also vend. Tell us about that aspect, the entrepreneurial aspect of the event.
Okay, so there is a fee attached to vending. Actually, I do some vending on the day as well to kind of make back some of the money from what I'm putting out. Besides that, it also gives me opportunity to build a capital to continue to keep this tournament as the years go by. So what I do, the things that I'm not doing, I allow other people to come to do it at a cost, because every single thing that you do on that day is going to be a cost. This year in particular, I would have spoken to the Minister of Sport, and she said, Karyn, you need to push this tournament as a big tournament. And, you know, more so than ever, I also seek counsel when coming to my tournament, because you want to be able to sometimes you might see something a particular way and somebody might see it another way, because a lot of inclusions that I have made is because I, you know, ask questions, ask people. So, you know, you're including everybody. And that's why I chose the All Fours tournament, because it's a very prominent thing. And in Plymouth in particular has an All Fours center. So why not include them?
Excellent. And you mentioned the Minister of Sport. You have a good relationship with them. Is the ministry sponsoring this event as well?
So I'm in the process of signing up a grant. Of course, you know, those things take time.
Right.
So usually what I do like a report after and send in all my receipts and such. And then it's up to them now to differentiate, you know, what deems more important than such, and then they go from there.
Okay, excellent, excellent. And so, as we wrap up this morning, is there any messages that you want to send to young women, especially when we talk about women of substance and everything that you have written in regards to that? Is there any particular message that you want to put out there?
Yeah, two things I want to say. A lot of people go through life and want to achieve goals, but they don't know why they're doing it, or holding on to the why when the going get tough, because it's going to get tough. It's going to get challenges. It's going to have things happening. But at the end of the day, once you remember your why, that is what keeps you going. And that's what kept me from going and doing all the things that I have been doing. Because at the end of the day, I realized there's no limit. And that's my next point. You know, a lot of people say the sky's the limit, but there's no limit. And I am going after every single thing that in my vision. And I do believe that we all have the capacity to do the same. You just have to know what you want.
Right. And when it comes to sports and athletics, people think that there's usually a time frame attached to it, and there is an expiration date on your face, right? And you spoke about building that brand.
Yes.
What are you doing to make your career sustainable, and how do you advise other athletes to take measures, whether it be through entrepreneurship or community engagement, to help them stay relevant and to sustain themselves over time, even after their sporting career has ended?
Yeah. For me personally, after the tournament, I'm heading out to Baltimore to play for 2 months in the Summer League. And I could afford to do that because I would have a store that will still be making, generating funds while I'm out there playing and also coaching. So that's another pathway I'm looking into, which is coaching. I will say definitely a lot of people think too late. I recognize early that, of course, in our lovely country, we are not being treated the way that we ought to be treated. And that's a fact, but I can't sit down and dwell on that fact.
I know you're talking about in regards to compensation or just the conditions that you guys are.
Conditions that we actually have to face. We don't really get much, right? And I recognized that very early. And I was like, listen, I have to be able to still set up myself other than that, because I can't sit and say, okay, well, I'm not getting this, I'm not getting that. I have to make a way for myself. And I went into entrepreneurship very early and started doing different things to try to create myself revenue outside of playing with the national team also, because I realized it was really imperative.
Excellent, excellent. And so before we wrap up, tell the people again about Kick It with Karyn, why they should come out and support, whether it be to take part in the event or just to be a spectator, to bring. So, and are coolers allowed? That's a question. Are you allowed to bring coolers
absolutely.
into the
You're fine to bring coolers. Kick It with Karyn will be the 27th and 28th of May. The tournament is growing. Whether you decide to participate or be a spectator, we're trying to include different activities that people will be able to be involved, whether you're a spectator or not, and that's one of the things that we want to continue to do, so everybody feels welcome. So again, come out and support Kick It with Karyn. Come and experience the difference. That's what I'm saying. Each year is going to be different.
Excellent, excellent. And guys, you see for yourself that she is not just an athlete, she's a rising star here in Tobago. She's inspirational, motivational, and doing all that she can with the resources that she has to inspire other athletes as well as other young persons within her community. And these are the type of young persons that we want to put our support behind. In whatever way you can support the initiative, you can reach out to Karyn via her number, which is 352-7552. You can reach out to her via her social media accounts, or you can call 267-9720 and reach out. Whatever you want to sponsor, they are open to sponsorship, right?
Absolutely.
Still open to sponsorship. Whether it is that you want to sponsor a case of water for each team.
Yes.
A little goes a long way, especially when you're doing these type of events out of pocket.
Yes.
Right? So, I mean, the support is necessary. Make it a line, make it a thing. Invite your friends, invite your family, make it a family day. I mean, it's on a weekend. You can come in on a Saturday or on Sunday with the kids. It's something that is family friendly. And we have I-95 also being a part of that. So, they're bringing the vibes, they're bringing the entertainment. So it's not going to be a boring thing.
Yes.
The vibes is going to be there, and it's going to be at the Plymouth Recreational Grounds on the 27th and the 28th. I can't stop stressing how important it is to support you.
Yes.
And I really want to thank you for taking the time, the effort, the energy, and the resources from your own pocket that you could have used to do anything else.
Absolutely.
To really continue to sow back into your community, paying it forward.
Yes.
And it's inspirational, and we really appreciate it. So again, we want to thank you for coming on here on Tobago Updates and for making your family and people of Plymouth proud.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here, guys. Thank you so much for being with us this morning. Again, I am Shenell Felix, and this is Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Thank you for making us the #1 broadcast station on the island of Tobago. Thank you for liking, sharing, and commenting. And we know we see all the Karyn supporters out there. Thank you for your continuous support. And guys, be sure to come out to this event. And even if you're not there, call her and support her in some small way. Right? Enjoy the rest of your day, guys. Thank you again.
The energy filled the sky.